Hi, I'm back. Just had a couple pretty intense days and wanted to share because I feel like the aha moments I had would probably resonate for some people or be aha moments for them as well. I also first wanted to share that I think it's very interesting and maybe might inspire other people that since I have been doing this video journal, diary, whatever, I feel like my clearing has really ramped up. And I'm not sure if that's, I got the nudge to do the healing or the videos. There's a very loud phone ringing next door. I'm not sure if I got the nudge to do the videos because healing was coming, or if me opening up, being vulnerable, and sharing more of myself publicly has sped up the healing process. But I think that either way, maybe it's motivation for someone out there to also start putting your process and your healing, your vulnerability into some form that you might be able to share with others. Because I feel like it probably will just help you, even if it doesn't help anybody else. Anyway, so what I wanted to share. I think what I'm probably going to say in this video will not be popular with some people that I know, and that's okay, because this is the way I feel and what has come out of my healing the past couple days. So I've had for several months, well, years to be honest with you, this kind of internal feminine masculine balance issue. I feel like I hold too much masculine energy, and I look at these women, especially in the spiritual community, who are very flowy and in tune with nature, and I admire them and wish I was more like them. Hold for a loud truck. Sorry, it's so nice out that I just really wanted to be sitting outside and not in my house doing this. And I've felt like that is a role the feminine energy is. I'm supposed to be tapping into that more, but I'm having a really hard time doing that. And it's been a pretty intense focus the past few months for me, just like trying to find this balance and trying to find a way to release the past week it's been particularly releasing like the rigidity, if that's a word, rigidity of my daily routine, the structure. For me, I've learned, I believe it's a learned behavior, to feel a sense of accomplishment when I get all of the things on my checklist checked off. And I have an incredibly hard time relaxing or doing fun things, going with the flow, if I haven't gotten those things checked off. And I don't want to be like that. I see that as more of like, you know, the feminine is the flow and just being, and the masculine is the action, the doing. And so it was my goal this week, you know, through a workshop that I'm doing with a friend, where honestly we're tapping into the energy of the new moon in Virgo, and somehow has come up this like theme of balance. And so it seemed like a really good fit that I could really try to focus on what steps can I make to fix this, or to balance myself, to turn down the masculine and turn up the feminine a little bit. And so I couldn't think of like, I know you're supposed to like write down things that you want to do instead of things you don't want to do, because you need maybe something to like fill the, if I stop smoking, I need to replace it with this behavior or whatever. But all I could come up with was stop making lists of things I need to do every day. What was the other one? I can't remember if this was specifically it, but stop making my bed. That was one of them. Because I just feel like if I don't make my bed, I have this sense of like guilt, anxiety. I'm not doing it's a bit OCD, but it's like, you know, something that I feel like is out of my control, and I have these very negative feelings associated with it if I decide not to do it. So, sorry, there's a bee. Hi, bee. So on Monday, I decided to relinquish my control of a couple of those items. And I'm not sure if what followed was a result of that or just coincidental in timing and energy of everything, but Wednesday night as I laid down in bed and all day Thursday, I was sobbing uncontrollably. The most intense like grief I felt for the fact that I think most people in my life look at me and see me like this very capable woman who just doesn't need help. And a little bit of my backstory: I own my own house, I have rental properties, I've owned my own business before. I am in this system of the matrix. I am what people would consider successful, and I have my shit together, but I'm a woman and I don't want to have to do it all. And I had this major breakdown. I finally hit the wall, and I'm just like, I need to figure out how to express to people that I need help. I do have men in my life that can help me. I have, my dad is still around, he can help me, but just through several comments over the past, weeks and months, I've just realized that people think that I really can do everything that a man can do. And it's just not the case. And ultimately I figured out that it's me being able to express this to people, to be vulnerable to people, to figure out how to ask for help, because a lot of my issue is coming from me. It's not me thinking I don't need help, it's me not wanting to burden people by asking them for help when I feel like maybe they don't have the time, or our relationship doesn't have that dynamic yet, or something like that. So that was kind of the process, as it were. And I actually successfully managed to talk to the people in my life about this that I think could be of help to me and would be willing to help me, and really tried to be vulnerable with them, and I think it worked. We shall see, but I will say that I think I feel so much intensity around this because it's linked to my family, like my mother's side of the bloodline. And I think this is something that she didn't have. My mom passed. she didn't have the opportunity to heal. So quite literally, my life is almost identical to hers. I'm following in her footsteps despite not wanting to, healing these traumas that she didn't have the opportunity to. So, and I think that's why it was so intense, because it's not only my pain, but it's the pain from the women that I know of are my mom, my aunt, my grandmother, and I don't know before that or how far it extends. So it may be even bigger. So I want to say that one thing that I feel like I learned about myself that may be helpful to other people is that I feel like this was something that I learned from society and obviously from my family, that I don't want to say men are unreliable, but that anything can change, anything can happen, and as a woman, that's a very vulnerable place to be, and it's very scary to feel like you have to rely on somebody else for your livelihood, for your shelter, for, whatever. And so I learned I have to do it myself. I wanted to be able to support myself financially. I wanted to be able to put a roof over my own head, whether it was just paying for an apartment or having my own house. So that way, if life circumstances changed, I wasn't in a position where I found myself scrambling to figure out how to care for myself. And there were other, there have been relationships in my life that have proved this to me, because I feel like I manifested it just to keep proving that, yeah, I was right, this is what I need to be doing. So it's nobody's fault. I'm not blaming any men in my life that can't recognize that I am a woman that may need help with things sometimes. I'm fully to blame, although I'm not really holding anything about that. It's just like, this is what I learned and this is the life I created, and I honestly don't feel bad about it. I don't feel regret. I'm proud of what I've accomplished, but now I'm in a position where I have to figure out how to loosen my grip on this, because what I've ended up with is a life where there's not a lot of room for me to embrace being the feminine, because as I predicted, men aren't really around. I've built this life for myself, and right now it's just me, and so that's one piece of it. The second piece of it that I think people may not enjoy hearing is I think that this directly correlates with two things. Well, the feminist movement, and this society that's this programming that's sprung up in society that has resulted from women feeling or being told, either I think is true, that they don't have power, that men, especially white men, rule the world, and as a woman you have to embrace more masculine qualities. I'm not a feminist. I will say I'm not a feminist in the way that the movement wants us to be. Of course, I believe women should have equal rights and all of the social stuff I'm supposed to say, but I believe that women and men are very different. And I will make an aside to say that, of course, there are women that do naturally hold more masculine energy and men that hold more feminine energy. So I guess I'm referring mostly to maybe the energy within, rather than the physical vessel. But for ease of conversation, I'm just going to say women and men. We are different. We have different skills. We have different energy. We have balance that's needed, the yin and the yang, to bring to the world. And it needs to be balanced within, but also needs to be balanced without, within our relationships and in our lives. So this movement that they push, that women have to do what men do, and you own your own house, start your own business. I'm not saying those aren't good things, and I think everyone has their own journey. Like I said, I don't regret where I am, but I think that the programming has pushed women too far and pushed us into a space where we're not holding feminine energy anymore. And I will say, I think it's become so far that fuck the white man and the patriarchy has moved into this really toxic feminine matriarchy. And so the second real aha moment for me was, I don't think I necessarily need to airplane. I don't think I need to balance my feminine and masculine energy so much as take a look at my feminine energy and see the ways that it's become toxic. And this is gonna get real weird for some people, but I'm sure everyone knows the Queen died. I feel like what happened for me was an internal experience of the toxic matriarch ego death for me. I feel like I felt that inwardly, of my ego experiencing these traits that we've been told as women in today's world we need to embody. And as the Queen died, and many of you might just love her, but do your research. As she died, I think I felt that within, and I think it's epically beautiful if that's true. Even if it's not true, I think that actually what I am feeling is, like I said, not feminine masculine, it's my toxic feminine. That went through a pretty significant death the past couple of days. And I emerge a better person, I think. I'm more graceful, more appreciative, more humble. But yeah. So I will leave you with that. I know the video is getting a little bit long. Thank you for listening. and I am always open to new connections and friends. So if anybody resonates with this and you want to share your story with me, just comment below or find me on Facebook or whatever. I am here. I'm here to talk and share stories and connect. All right. I love you guys.